inundate your reel. Get some on top.
Hey everybody, Jerry here. Good to see you back. Today what we're going to do is talk about field cam ambassadors. This would be applicable to any ambassador, 4500, 5500, 6500, even 7000 series. Big thing we're looking for is sand. Sand's going to cause all these problems. So I got some here, as you saw in the beginning of the clip. I hope you enjoyed that. And we're just going to talk about how to handle these quick problems caused by sand on the beach.
Now the number one problem, and what this is going to cause you all the problems on the beach with an ambassador reel, is of course it's going to be sand. Sand is going to cause those problems. I'm going to show you, the first thing you want to do is, if you're going to, going to be somewhat fun, is you're fishing and basically sand is going to inundate your reel and get some on top. Now when that happens, stop immediately. Do not crank. What you want to do is rinse your reel right away, and I'm just going to show you how to do that. You can see, if you can, the level line is completely covered in sand. So you want to get that out, and that's what we're going to do. Now I'm not at the beach here, but this is my simulated beach. So what you want to do when you have that sand, you want to get it all out of that level line bar, off the sides as much as you can, and inside here. So if this were the beach, just dump your reel. You know, there's going to be wave action. Just make sure you get that sand out. You may have to crank the reel, but you'll see eventually that sand will blast out, and you'll be good to go. Now it'll be all cleared out. You can also check it, wipe a rag, and give it again. But that is it. You get that sand out as quick as you can, any way you can. Now, what you want to do too is you want to take a real quick cast, and that's going to actually blow out whatever sand is in there. So give it a few casts, rinse it, and you're good to go. Of course, there's going to be a little sand, you know, around the edges. That's all you have to do. You want to do that right away.
Now I carry with me in my bag a field kit. Oh, it's like a repair kit. It's just got everything that can get inundized by sand. You got cog wheels, spool gear. We'll see them later. Of course, you carry an extra worm gear. We'll see them later. There's also a couple extra screws there. But most importantly is a couple pawls. And I keep them in a medicine bottle. And I just tuck it in the side of my bag. The number 2 problem caused by sand is going to be a worn out pawl. This just happens gradually with time, especially in that sandy, beachy environment. I go through a few of these every year. Now the telltale sign to a worn pawl is when you crank and your line guide goes across, it's basically going to stick on one side, like either the left or the right normally. And you need to change that pawl, otherwise you can cause damage to your worm gear. Sometimes you can push it through, but sand will cause this problem. Sand will cause all those problems. Real quick, I carry a pen wrench on my keychain, but you pretty much so can use anything. I also carry a pen wrench on me sometimes. It's just the same, or any wrench in the corner pocket of your bag. You're definitely going to need one. now to the repair. All you do is just unscrew the cap underneath the line guide, and here we go. Take this out, and there's our cap. Turn the reel upside down, kind of pull that PAWL out. Sometimes you got to encourage it, sometimes you don't. And get our PAWL to replace, and just drop that in, and it's as simple as that. And we're going to put that cap back on. Make sure you do this over a bag or something. You don't want these parts dropping in the sand because you're going to lose them. So, but I do carry extras in case I do lose a piece or two. But just screw that cap back in. Again, make sure you do this over a bag, your bag, or a towel if you have one. And take a few cranks. And we're ready to fish. And remember that sand is going to cause these problems. Okay, now the third, well, I put two up there, but I said the third issue that you're going to face when you're out there, what sand is going to do is going to be your worm gear. If you don't change that PAWL, it's going to scour out your worm gear, and you're going to have to change that. Now, one real quick solution is take the worm gear out and just follow these steps. Take it out if you don't have a spare worm and fish without it. Just remove your guide. But it's real simple. Go back to the other part if you have to, and just remove your PAWL cap and your PAWL, right, as such. Make sure you have a bag underneath you. Then we're going to remove the plate over here. I'm going to show you really quick. There's just 3 screws, so I'll do one. But just remove all 3 screws, and here we go. Get it out. There we go, 3 screws, and remove the plate, and that's it. What you want to do is here's the, what do they call that? Guard lock. And you just take that off, and the worm will come right out. There you go. And now we are just going to get our worm from our spare parts kit and install it. Of course, everything is going to be in reverse, and remember, sand is going to mess everything up. That's what sand's going to do. But everything's going to be in reverse. So let's put it back together. I have the worm, and just pop her in there. And if you don't have the worm, just slide that bar out and take your guide off too. I didn't mention that. If you don't have a spare worm, you can fish without the guide and just kind of level line the line in with your hand. But you put on the lock real quick or not, and turn her upside down, drop your PAWL back in, and you probably will have to, you know, when you don't change your PAWL, it scours out that worm, that sand gets cut, and it kind of creates a wedge. But put the PAWL cap back on, and then what we got here is probably get that plate back. Oh, let me just screw in, forgot about that, is screw in the cap to your PAWL. And now we're just going to slap the plate right back on. This is just reverse when you took it apart. There's really not much to this. And this is all stuff done you can do in the field. Again, make sure you got put your backpack or a towel underneath you, or you know, it gets tricky. But just screw them screws back in, and you're good to go. Okay, here is another issue that can go wrong out there. Is your cogwheel here, basically your spool gears, your level line gears, but they call that your cogwheel. And here's an example. Sometimes if you take a cast and somehow you get a short stop, you can actually rip into that cogwheel, you know, either side of it. Or you can also rip into the spool gear and clicker ratchet. Now that clicker ratchet goes is no big deal. I take mine off anyway. But that's easy to replace. You put that in your spare parts kit and snap it back in. As far as the spool gear goes, you may have to get a knife. I think I got a razor here, a knife or a razor out there, and just kind of, you cut that top portion. It'll pull out, and then you snap your other new gear in. This is with the newer Ambassadors. The older ones have a C-clip or a screw. Now we're going to talk about the anti-reverse, if that goes. Just deal with it. Sand will cause these problems. But you're basically going to crank it. Anti-reverse goes, your handle's going to spin backwards like a direct drive reel. you still have your drag. Drag still weights. The way to fix that is replace your plate or replace the bearing in the plate. But you're just going to have to deal with that on the surf. Basically, all I do, this happened to me a few times, is I just hold that, when I hook into a fish, I just hold that handle tight, and that drag will, you know, enact itself, and your anti-reverse will be fine. You'll still be able to crank that fish in just as such. It's that's a quick, you know, don't go home because your anti-reverse is not working. On a final quick note, this happened to me once. The brake block was cracked. And basically you just replace it. If it's cracked, you carry an extra one with you, and they just snap right back in just as such. I didn't show you I didn't take it out, but and then you just snap it in and slap your plate back on, you're back fishing. That happened to me once in my life, is having that brake block, you know, break on a fish. Okay everyone, thanks again for watching. Again, this is like a basic field repair guide, things that go wrong to the field that happen to me. Of course, it's going to be your level line issues. Remember, carry a spare parts kit. You're going to have PAWL issues. But just be prepared. A lot of things you can work out and fix these things right out in the field. And remember, sand is going to cause you problems. But you know, go through the video in whole, go through it in bits. But thanks again for watching. And remember, like, dislike, comment. Always love your comments. And of course, remember, always fish your way. And thanks again for watching.